All right, welcome to some more major ARK news, and today we've got quite a bit to cover. So I've done all of y'all a favor. Check out the description for timestamps. If there's a particular piece of news y'all want to check out, just go check out the timestamps for it. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So Wildcard and one of their devs one of their devs decided to put out this statement on the Discord, which really misled and ultimately upset quite a few people. Technically, we didn't actually give an ASA date, just official server sunset date. Heh heh. Well, a lot of people took that quite literally, and they went back to her and said, "Hey, you did give a date at the end of August. That's when we're supposed to be getting ARK Survival Ascended ASA. What are you talking about here?" And yeah, and this blew up all over Twitter. Here's one of the tweets that we read. Hillbilly Willie said, "Guess we are going to have absolutely nothing to play starting in August. Yikes." Dolly, one of the devs, then replied, "It was a joke. The semantics of an exact date versus by the end of, hence the heh at the end. Think that context was missed by some." Hillbilly Willie replied to that saying, "I think the lack of communication and some track record issue might make it harder for the joke to land. However, we do appreciate the correction. We all just want to see and play the dang thing as soon as possible." However, that's not how everyone took it. That's not how everyone took it, because people take context in different ways. Dolly, I honestly think that when you put out that statement, you did not consider tweets like these to show up. We have some people saying, "Thanks for the correction. I agree with Willie. The lack of communication makes it hard to understand it's an actual joke. Due to the history of delays regarding ARK stuff, you can't believe people will take such comment for a joke, even with hee. But to be honest, people expect too much, don't expect anything, and be surprised if you get it by the end of this year. Heh." Another person said, "Was it necessary to confirm that? I say it's very obvious unless it's really going to be delayed." So that's someone who did understand it. But then, please don't shut down the servers already for the original game. My friend and I spent over a year building on Fjordur and Extinction. We got a really cool setup. And the last person, joking isn't allowed ever. So we have quite a few mixed reactions. Some people really upset with her, some people understanding it, and some people some people who are mixed. They were like, "I don't get it. Are you serious? Are you delaying this?" And it goes on. I went on and looked at some other tweets, and these tweets really highlight the importance of professional business communication. The passive aggression is hilarious. The audacity to talk like that with the history of this company, as if it isn't entirely reasonable to assume would be delayed, almost guaranteed intact, and still refuse to even address the proven corruption with their servers and game devs. Why are you messing with people? Why can't you provide some real information? Talk to the players. Tell us what the state of development is. You need to start countering all the bad press you're getting. Realize that a large majority of the ARK community does not trust the message coming out. You laugh that your customers do not get the context, they get it, and fully understand that it is very possible for the servers to sunset without ASA again being available. We get it. And I believe there is one more. Nope. But yeah, for all the tweets, we have some very upset people. I'm gonna get to that next image in a minute. So we have some very upset people. So, Wildcard. This is a message to Wildcard. This is some constructive criticism. Not just for Dolly, but for everyone at Wildcard. You are a company. You are a business. Your statements need to be well thought out and professional. They do not need to be this. That is not well thought out. That is not professional. That is what your consumers, your customers, that is how a customer should be talking, not a developer. And frankly, in this case, she's taking the position of a spokesperson. That is not how a spokesperson speaks. That is unprofessional. That is very damaging to the company's reputation, which already has a very bad reputation. As we know with the whole Snail Games controversy and Wildcard not speaking up. But we don't know all the details about that. However, what we do know is lessons can be learned from this. So, in the future, you need to release professional statements, ones that have been thought out. Well thought out, okay? Ones that do not have jokes in them. Ones that are serious, okay? The statement like this is not serious. This is not professional. In the future, your statements need to be serious, they need to be professional, and they need to be clearly transparent. This is unprofessional. This is not transparent. This is obviously the hee at the end, may be taken as an insult to some people who play on official servers. I actually showed this statement to a friend of mine who is on an esports team. He's on various discords with various different video games. I asked him, what do you think of this? And he's like, oh, that's, funny, some local gamer. I was like, that's not a local gamer. That is a developer. And he was like, that's not how a developer should be speaking. And I fully concur with his statement. So, Wildcard, I hope y'all can take this as an educational experience. Don't simply joke about things with your customers. It's like saying that you're going to give something for free, but there's a string attached. And then telling them, well, we'll give you this for free, but you have to do X, Y, and Z first. When you were never told about X, Y, and Z until, yeah. And this has happened before with the announcement of ASA. It was announced to be free. Then it was announced that we would be having to pay for it. And the pay was so outrageous that ultimately the community outraged forced everyone at Wildcard to lower the price of Survival Ascended. So Wildcard, There is no hate. There is respect from me. Full respect. I understand there was miscommunication. This was a bad joke. And ultimately, you have done your best to correct this joke. And hopefully this is a learning that you'll carry with you. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this. This is a learning experience for everyone. We all make mistakes and we all learn from them. And this also hints at ASA, again, its release date being simply wishful thinking because of this. I went on Steam, I searched Survival Ascended, never popped up. I searched ARK 2 to be announced. So Survival Ascended isn't even on ARK for to be announced or coming soon, which is a clear-cut case of Survival Ascended is going to be delayed. So that is my take on it. And I think that this is like I said, a learning experience for everyone. My personal recommendations to Dolly and all the other developers at Wildcard, in the future, put out more professional statements. Do not include any jokes because some people will not understand the jokes. Some people will, but a lot of people will not understand the jokes, and then they'll either laugh with you or they will not laugh at all and they will stop playing your game. Because I came across a very angry tweet, which I did not want to put up here. But basically, the person who put up that tweet, I did not feel comfortable because there was quite strong language. I like to avoid strong language on my channel. But, mostly. I mean, you guys see that I play Outlast. But, ultimately that person said that they were done playing ARK. And these kinds of unprofessional statements can really damage your reputation. And to Wildcard, as you're aware, your company is facing a really bad name to it right now with the Snail Games controversy going on. And statements like this is just putting fuel on the fire to that bad name. So hopefully, in the future, these jokes can be avoided and we can just stay focused. If you put out a statement, communicate with us. We're not saying stop communicating with us, but please do communicate with us. But please just keep it professional. And if you have to say, well, we can't say much about this, we can say a little about that. And but yeah, the wishful thinking, that's something I personally don't like, but that's something y'all enjoy doing. So I'm not going to provide constructive criticism on that, but the unprofessional statements, I will provide the constructive criticism on that. But we do have other news that I want to move on to, and that is the Ragnarok creature vote submission is finally in, and the winner of the Ragnarok vote is the Gigantoraptor, which I honestly did not expect. I did not expect Gigantoraptor to win. I honestly did not expect this dude to win. He was honestly, I was like, he sort of fits in with Scorched Earth or Ragnarok. He fits more in with Scorched Earth because fossil evidence demonstrates that they lived in desert environments. So I assume that's where they'll be spawning, in the desert environment, the desert area of Ragnarok. But yeah, that was interesting. And here are screenshots that I took of the first round. So we have the yeah, the Sumo Hadrosaur. I had a feeling it wouldn't make it. But yeah, the first round, the top 5. The I was quite interested that the dire otter at the very top was at the very top. I was quite interested. And then I took this another screenshot, and I'm very sorry for the submitter of the Gorgonops, but it was eliminated at the end of round 4. So yeah, that was I was honestly thinking I would make it a little bit higher, but it didn't. I honestly thought it would end up passing a Jungosaurus, but it didn't. Uh, so to the submitter of Gorgonops, keep trying. You know, you'll get it. You still have a few more maps. If ASA continues to do all of the non-canon DLCs, it could end up in that one. If they decide to do the Center, Valguero, Crystal Isles, I mean, all of those already have custom creatures. But if they decide to redo some more custom creatures, you have a chance there. So just keep going. If it doesn't make it into one of these story maps, which are which we still have Aberration, Extinction, Gen 1 and Gen 2. And then Dreadnoughtus got eliminated. And yeah, the dire otter made it so far up. Dreadnoughtus made it pretty up. 4th place. Not bad for Dreadnoughtus. And I actually, the submitter of Dreadnoughtus, actually commented on my previous ARK news segment when I was going over the finalist and discussing the pros and cons, and we discussed Dreadnoughtus and how interesting of a creature would be, but I think I'm not sure why. If I had to guess, I think it was because Wildcard may not have been able to find a way to make it more of a PvE, an equally PvE and PvP creature, or they thought maybe it could just end up being overpowered like the Rhiniothatha. Who knows? Because the Rhiniothatha is really overpowered, whereas some of the other creatures are really underpowered. But yeah, Dreadnoughtus was 4th place. Dire Otter was 3rd. And the cheetah, I did not expect the cheetah to make it as high, to end up in 2nd place. Cheetah was in my top 5, but I never thought it would end up in 2nd place. I think it was the tech saddle proposition that got up there. And Giganoraptor. I did not expect Giganoraptor to win, but it's pretty cool that it did. I'm interested in what they decide to do with it. All the proposed dossiers and proposed abilities. Wildcard will sometimes keep them and sometimes scrap them. Dinopithecus, they scrap them. Whereas Rhiniothatha, they ended up keeping them. Or some of them. and that was quite interesting that they made that move. So Gigantoraptor could keep its abilities, could lose them. We don't know. But speaking of creature votes, Aberration. Aberration will be having a creature vote coming soon. They announced that next Friday is when they'll provide the details on that. But in this week's Community Crunch, they never specified whether or not it's strictly real world creatures or something like that. So I would encourage everyone who's making a submission to come up with a real world creature and a fantasy creature. And the minute they release the guidelines saying real world only or fantasy or whatever, the minute you see real world or fantasy, go find your real world or go find your fantasy and put that in as your submission. I think that would be a smart move. I'm already working on my two. I'm not going to say what they are, but yeah, I'm working on a real world and a fantasy. So yeah. But anyway, that's just about gonna do it for the ARK news. I know this is a long video, so that is why I put timestamps in it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, it really helps me out, and I will see you guys next time.